the blades already in. Not mine, hers. Pressed under my jaw, cold and sharp enough to split atoms. Her breath smells like copper and synth antibiotics. I can feel her pulse through the steel. One twitch, and I'm painting the ceiling with my last thought. I should have listened to Rodriguez. But that's the part that almost killed me. The part before was quieter, and twice as deadly. 3 days earlier, I stood outside her cell watching Valera pace like a caged wolf. Purple skin slick with fever sweat, hair crusted with old blood, eyes tracking the energy barrier like it owed her money. She'd snarled the same threat at every guard who passed. If you touch my body, I'll kill you. Melodic, terrifying, beautiful in the way a black hole is beautiful, inescapable. Rodriguez stood beside me, arms crossed. She's septic, Jake. Won't last the night. I saw what he didn't. The cuts on her forearms weren't battlefield shrapnel. They were too clean, too deliberate. Serrated edge work, interrogation scars. Her own people did this, for asking questions. I ordered the barrier down. Rodriguez called it suicide. Maybe it was. But I stepped through anyway. She coiled like a spring. You're closer than I allow corpses, she said. I grinned. Love the greeting card collection, especially the one where my intestines become holiday decor. She didn't laugh, so I dropped the act. Your wounds, they weren't from us. They were punishment. Her eyes flickered. Just once. That's all I needed. I sat cross-legged on the floor, med kit between us. No armor, no sidearm. Just me and the ghost of my sister, who died on the Aramis transport 3 years ago, a civilian ship Draxon's fleet labeled military. A lie. A massacre. I came back every 6 hours. Rodriguez called it suicide by stubbornness. On day 3, she finally spoke. Do you have nothing better to do than watch me die? I tossed her a sandwich. Real bread, real cheese. Tactical maneuver, I said. Aggressive deployment of carbs. She ate, hesitant, then surprised. This is good. Yeah, I said. We invented wheels for luggage 50 years before FTL. Priorities, right? She asked about our romantic comedies. I told her they're films where love wins through sheer stupidity. Admitted I liked them. She smiled. Really smiled. And for the first time, she looked human. Then she told me about Draxon, about orders to fire on civilian haulers, about being flayed for objecting. And then, quietly, about the Aramis. My chest caved in, my sister, her kids, gone, because of a lie signed in blood. I have proof, Valera whispered. Encrypted files, in my ship's nav core, buried in the salvage yard. I stood up. Let's start by fixing those wounds properly. We have a war to end. For 300 hours, I ran a secret med rotation, risked court-martial, treason, didn't care. In the med bay, she peeled off her jacket. The wounds were worse up close, deep, infected, edges ragged from serrated blades meant to keep her hurting. I cleaned them slow, hands steady even though my gut screamed, "This is how you die." She watched me. Why help me? Tired of fighting for lies, I said. She told me where the drive was hidden. When my hand brushed her shoulder, something sparked. Not just attraction, recognition. Like we'd been walking toward each other through hell for years. The salvage yard stank of ozone and decay, 3 acres of dead ships. We found her fighter in Section 7, half crushed. Crawled inside like ghosts. Plasma cutter in hand. I worked the crystalline drive loose. Joked, don't want to die before our first date. Then, alarms. Lights flooded the yard. Gunfire cracked the air. We ran, hand in hand, lungs burning. She shoved me into a vent. We crawled, bodies pressed tight, breathing each other's panic. emerged into a corridor, ducked into a storage closet, chests heaving, eyes locked. "Brilliant or idiots?" she whispered. "Why not both?" We kissed like the world was ending. Maybe it was. In Admiral Hawkins' office, I admitted to 18 violations: theft, unauthorized access, conspiracy. But when the hologram lit up, Draxon's orders, falsified intel, joint black ops between our fleets, the room went silent. Ambassador Kororath stared at Valera like she'd risen from the grave. She had, spiritually at least. 6 weeks later on Peace Station, I found her watching former enemies dock side by side. I wrapped an arm around her. Natural. Easy. I'd transferred permanently. She'd been made liaison. Irony's a bitch with a sense of humor. "So," I said, "about that dinner. Real restaurant. Strict no-weapons policy. Fair warning, I'll probably compare your eyes to neutron stars or something equally dumb." She laughed. Bright. Real. "Thank you," she said, "for seeing me." I kissed her. Stars behind us. Silence ahead. Not peace. Not yet. But a chance. Truth is, I still wake up at 3 a.m. smelling blood. Wondering if I was reckless or just desperate, if I traded one war for another kind of ruin. But then I remember her smile in that cell, the first crack in the ice. And I know, some risks aren't choices, they're reckonings. You don't walk away from truth just because it's armed.